Alright everyone, we're going to be doing an oil change today on a 2009 Dodge Avenger. So what you'll need, of course, is your oil. As you can see, I have my oil here. 5W20 oil filter. You'll need your drain pan. Pop your hood. Come on over here. Also, if you want to know what kind of engine oil you have, usually it's underneath the hood as well. Mine is 5W20, 2.7 liter. Take this off. We'll sit it right here. I was always taught to place it here, right between all your latches, just in case when you go to close the hood, you forget, put that cap back on here. It's always good to have it sitting here so you won't forget. All right, so once you do that, you get to go in that part. Now me, I'll drove up on the ramp, like so. If you have a higher truck or higher vehicle, you might not have to do this. I have extra support underneath both sides. So support on that side as well. As you can see, you got a little piece of cardboard underneath there just in case we make a mess. So you can drive your vehicle both on the ramps, give yourself some more space to work. All right, and that's how that process works. So we'll begin in a second. I just want to show you all the setup. Emergency brake is on, so the car won't roll backwards. Place our oil pan underneath the car. And I have a piece of cardboard down here, just in case I make a mess. Usually I make a mess when I change my oil. I'll place this oil container pan about right there. Turn it that way. And then in the inside, let's take this off. Move that out the way. Get myself some extra light so we can see what we got going on underneath here. Oil pan. Alright. And that's how that looks. The bolt right here. So that, as you can see, I'll be replacing that bolt. I'll be taking that bolt out and replacing that crush washer that you see there. This crush washer right here. Alright, that's what we'll be doing next. Let's drain this oil out. Also, you can open up this little bleeder valve here that lets air out. So that way when you drain the oil in, oil flows pretty smooth going into the container. So the next thing you do is find your tool, proper size, to take off your bolt. This bolt is an aftermarket bolt, which is a 17-inch bolt on the outside, but on the inside the threads are smaller. The original bolt needed a 15mm socket to take it off because of the outside bolt, the head is bigger. I just want to turn to the left. All right, break the bolt, turn to the left, and then I'll just hand turn it from here. And inside your oil pan, they usually like that has something here to catch the bolt. But if you don't have a screen there to catch it, make sure you catch your bolt unless you want to be fishing for it in a whole bunch of oil. So what I like to do is I try to move the container over slightly on an angle and aim it up so I can try to catch this bolt while this oil comes out. There you go. As you can see, aiming it right inside where it needs to be. And what I like to do is, as it's draining out, I'll slowly move this pan to keep catching the oil. So I don't know if you guys noticing, but I'm dragging this pan as the oil's pouring out. So that way we ain't gotta keep cleaning off the top surface and have a whole bunch of oil sitting here. So little by little, I'll drag it. Usually I'll drag it right to the edge where I don't know, the oil will stop and just be pouring down into the container. So you can see what I mean. So I know I got a steady stream of oil right here. So I usually leave the pan around right there. It creates less of a mess up top on this surface. I could have just left it in one spot and then all the oil would have been here. And then if you guys know, when you're done changing your oil, then you got to come back over here and you got to wipe all this off, get a bunch of paper towels and all of that. So just kind of keeps you from making a big mess. And I'll just let that sit and let that drain. And while we're waiting for that to take process, I'll check out my boat. This one is magnetized, so any metal, any flakes or any chips of anything, any kind, will go into the tip of this. If you guys can see that, it's like small, little tiny flakes of metal. Real small. So this pulls any kind of metal that may be floating around in your oil. We don't want to see a lot. That'll be something bad going on in the inside. But you got like one or two little flakes, tiny little flakes. All right. What I plan on doing is putting back on the original bolt that came with the car and taking this bolt and just letting it sit to the side. I didn't like the fact that I saw oil still coming from the thread, like right around the edges here. So you guys can take a look. That I don't like. This I do not like. See how you see all that oil around that, like that? It's not a good thing. Don't like to see that. Shouldn't see oil around the boat like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the old school boy original right back on there. So I'm gonna put back on the original bolt, which looks like this. And it has like its own kind of washer that's here. It's not even a crush washer. Some different type of washer that's on here. So I'm just gonna leave that on there like that. When I put the crush washer on top, it looked like this. So you see that little gap there. I didn't like the way that looked either. There's a gap there. Because this lower part kind of caves in and goes up. So we'll leave this crush washer off to prevent us having any leaks. And what we'll do is we'll just take our bolt. We'll put it right back up in here like this. Take our time, make sure we catch the threads. You always want to put your bolt back in by hand tight. All the way down. Snug it hand tight. Wipe any excess oil off. You see like the pan looks a little dirty. You know, wipe that off as well. Wipe off any excess oil. So we got a nice little seal there. Shouldn't see anything coming out. Just take our tool, which was for the original bolt, 15mm socket, and it's snug. You don't gotta go super crazy because you don't want to bend the pan. Good to go. We'll wipe, we'll double check. Looks like a pretty tight seal. And we'll remove this next, our oil filter. So this will be our tool for your oil filter. Place it on the oil filter. I'll put an extension on here like this. Give me more leverage. And this is pretty much what it looks like. There we go. All right, releasing that seal. Bring your pan back underneath. And then you should be able to just hand turn it. And then you just pour right on out. What I like to do after that is I like to come on there, just wipe. See all that there? I like to just wipe on it just like this. Just wipe it clean. All right, so as you can see, we got the old oil filter out. It's a Mobile One, extended performance oil filter. What I like to do is just go over top like this, see if it's the same size. Line them up a little bit, just to see. Take the oil filter and I'll give it a light little tap up here, just to see if this is the correct one. Just to fill it out, thread wise. Just to make sure we are good to go. I'll check to see if it lines up properly, if it seats well. So we know that seats well. I'm gonna prime this next. Particularly with this car, I've done it without priming it, and then I've done it with priming it, and it seems like when you do it without priming it, without putting oil in here first, when I go to start the car up, it starts rough. Versus when you put the oil in it and you prime it first, I hear smooth starting. So you just want to put a little bit of oil in, just to prime it. Also, and spread that around the seal, so that way when you go to take it off the next time, it comes off smoothly, and you don't have to worry about trying to peel that rubber piece off because the oil filter got stuck. And snug. Our next step is to top off our oil. Funnel right. Five quarts. What I like to do is I like to check underneath the car to make sure I don't have no leaks. No leaks, we're good. As I'm doing this, I'll keep checking to make sure I don't see anything leaking underneath the bottom of the car. No leaks. good. I put in the whole 5 quarts. This car takes 5 quarts. Put our cap back on. We're gonna go underneath the bottom. We're gonna check for leaks. So we should be good there. No leaks coming from our oil filter. You will see oil like all around here if this wasn't sealed up tight enough. So no leaks coming from there. No leakage coming from here. It's dry. Then we start the car. Nothing underneath this bolt here. Nothing here. So we just did an oil change on a 2009 Dodge Avenger, 2.7 liter. All right. So that's how you do your oil change, pretty much, step by step, depending on your type of year, make, and model. But I just want to show you a little example of what to look for. All right. So then we'll turn our car off. And then you check your oil level after you've driven the car for a while. Never check it when it's cold. So drive the car for a little bit. All right, let the car come up to operating temperature, and then you check the oil levels, okay? Since I have this on a slight slant, I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to adjust when I drop the car down. I'll drive it, I'll check the levels, and we should be good to go. As I mentioned, with this vehicle, once you change the oil, you have to step on the gas pedal 3 times. So if that ever pops up on you guys, you wonder how to get that change oil light to go off, or change oil light on your dash, you turn the key to the on position, you step on the pedal 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you turn it back off, and then you turn it back on, and that light should go out. All right, so this light will come on eventually when this car says it's due for oil change, since I did it earlier than I was supposed to. And the reason why I did it earlier than I'm supposed to is because I drive this car a lot. So since I'm driving it a lot, I just wanted to give a fresh oil change to it versus when it's due for one. The vehicle has been driven, so the final last step is for me to check the oil level. So I'm gonna check it. Let's see what we got. Good to go. All right, drive safe.